All right, ready for a deep dive today. We're going to be getting into, well, it's heartwarming, really, but also kind of heartbreaking. You know, Reddit.
hmm
There's a thread on Our Made Smile about Chadwick Boseman.
Oh, wow.
And man, get ready for some serious feelings here.
Yeah.
This goes way beyond your typical, celebrity tribute. This is something else. There's a photo that kind of sparked this whole thing off. It's Boseman visiting these kids with cancer.
Oh, wow.
Sounds pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
But are you ready for the gut punch?
hmm
He was battling cancer himself at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That completely changes it. Yeah.
It's the whole context.
Yeah. It's like we knew Chadwick Boseman, the actor,
Yeah.
the icon.
Yeah.
This photo, it's like pulling back the curtain.
And we see Chadwick Boseman, the human.
Right.
This guy, he's literally facing death.
Yeah.
And he chooses to spend his time bringing joy to these kids.
And I think that's what resonates with a lot of people, especially if they've, had a similar experience, either with a loved one or themselves even. Just that idea of
Yeah.
going through something so difficult and still showing up for other people.
It makes you think about, certain moments. Like, remember that time he fell asleep at that Avengers press event?
I do, yeah.
People probably just saw that as kind of a funny moment,
Yeah.
right? But now,
Yeah, especially knowing what we know now, yeah.
you realize he was probably pushing through so much just to be there. Like the fatigue.
The pain, yeah. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
And, the internet being the internet, it's
Yeah.
not like it always gives grace, right?
Yeah. Right.
So as his cancer progressed, his appearance changed.
Oh, yeah.
And there were some pretty harsh comments floating around out there.
Like what? What were people saying?
Oh, man. Speculating about drug use,
Oh, God.
making light of his weight loss.
Jeez. It's a good reminder of how quick people are to judge,
Based on nothing.
and absolutely nothing. You don't know what's going on in someone's life.
I even saw this one comment. It was quoting a headline, and it said, "What's wrong with Chadwick Boseman?"
Oh, my gosh.
And knowing what we know now.
Just, oof.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
It really is.
It's like the whole internet is looking back and cringing.
Yeah, totally. With the benefit of hindsight.
Like, oh, no, we did not just say that about the king.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can see the remorse, in the thread, like people realizing how cruel those assumptions were.
And how I think that also speaks to just online empathy or the lack thereof, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we see this little snapshot of someone's life, this curated image,
Right.
and we forget that there's an entire human being behind it dealing with their own stuff.
And we don't know their struggles.
We have no idea.
And it's even more jarring because he kept it private,
Right, he did.
He chose to show this image of strength.
Well, going through something so difficult.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, you got to have some superhuman strength to do
To
that.
go through all that and still choose to be there for other people.
Like, look at that photo. Look at that smile. Can you even imagine?
No, I can't even begin to, really.
And what is that? It's not like extraordinary, right? It's just life.
But it is, in a way,
Yeah.
It's like those everyday moments of strength.
There was this one comment in the thread. It really stuck with me. They said, he gave joy while quietly enduring pain. That's a legacy.
Mm-hmm. It's not about, going through something terrible so you can accomplish something amazing. It's just about getting through it
Yeah.
quietly, with grace. And that's what resonates with people.
It's like, he's not a superhero in a movie. He's human.
Yeah.
And it makes us think about our own struggles
Yeah.
and how we face them or how we don't.
Right, exactly.
We can't talk about impact without talking about Black Panther, though, right?
Of course not.
That wasn't just a movie. It was a whole movement.
Right, and for Black communities especially, it was huge.
Right. To see themselves in this powerful, smart, cool superhero.
Who is also, undeniably cool. So important.
There's a comments like, before Black Panther, kids would pretend to be superheroes.
Right.
Paint their faces or whatever.
Right.
But after, they could finally see themselves.
It's about representation.
Exactly.
It's so much more than just entertainment.
It changes how you see yourself in the world.
In the world, exactly.
And you know what else? It wasn't just representation on screen.
Right.
Boseman, he lived that. He was always giving back, lifting people up.
It wasn't an act, it was him. He was Black Panther.
And you can tell,
Uh-huh.
even all these years later, reading this thread.
People really feel like they knew him.
Yeah.
on a personal level, even if it was just through his work.
It makes you think about fandom, doesn't it? Like these parasocial relationships we build.
Oh, yeah. Especially with people like Boseman, because he seemed so real.
And vulnerable, even.
We let these people into our lives through the screen, so we celebrate with them, but then we grieve with them, too.
Someone in the thread said they felt like haunted. Because there was that one Instagram live he did.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And he looked really sick. And
Yeah.
people were joking about it, you know?
Not knowing what he was going through.
Not knowing.
It's a good reminder. Like, you really don't know what someone else is going through.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Especially online, where it's so easy to forget that there's another person on the other side of the screen.
We forget so easily.
We do. But Boseman's story, it's a good reminder that our words have weight, online or off.
Yeah. Heavy's the head that wears the crown, right?
Yeah.
No kidding. It makes you think twice, you know,
Mm.
about what you put out there.
It really does. And you see that in the thread, too, this, like, wave of grief. It's personal for people.
It's like we lost someone we knew.
People are even comparing him to, like, Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, Betty White, those types of icons, you know?
It's that gone too soon thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we weren't ready to say goodbye. And I think that speaks to something we all experience as humans, you know?
Grief.
Grief, it's a reminder of our own mortality in a way, and it makes us think about the people we love, and yeah.
It's powerful stuff.
It is, and someone even said they, like, never really cared about celebrity deaths before.
Really?
But Boseman, it hit different, they said.
I get it. There's something about him, right?
It's like he transcended just being an actor, you know?
Yeah.
He represented something bigger, something that people connected with on a deeper level.
And speaking of, there's this one comment that really stuck with me. It kind of sums up his impact, I think.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Okay, so they said Boseman really embodied that Teddy Roosevelt quote, "Do what you can with what you have where you are."
Wow.
Gets you right in the feels, right?
It really does, because it makes you think about his whole approach to life, you know? On screen, off screen, it didn't matter. He didn't let anything stop him, not even, you know?
Yeah.
And he just kept going. He kept achieving these amazing things and inspiring people along the way. It makes you think, what can we all do, you know?
With what we have.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be something huge. Just be kind. Have courage when things get tough.
Find your inner Wakanda.
Exactly. And you know what's amazing? Even with all this sadness, all this grief, there's hope in this thread, too.
Oh, yeah.
People are saying, donate to cancer research. Honor his memory that way.
That's awesome.
It's like they're taking this sadness, this loss, and turning it into something positive.
And that's a powerful legacy, right?
It really is. It shows that even small acts of kindness, of courage, they matter. They make a difference.
It's like, even when things are dark, we can choose to be a light, you know?
And that's something worth celebrating. Wakanda forever.
And Wakanda forever.